Hello everybody, Final Miner back again. There we go. And we're going to do something a little bit different today. We may do a little more building on the base, but I went ahead and did some branch mining, and I thought that I had recorded it, but I forgot. I didn't have my recording software started, so I didn't get to show you. But I was using my hammer to do some branch mining down in the branch mine, and I found some Railcraft geodes. And if you don't know what those are, that's those big black stone shapes that you see underneath the ocean. And one thing that's special about them is they have a chance to have some rare ores in them, like diamonds. And so I cracked into one of them and I found a diamond, and I was really excited, so I recorded, or I thought I did. And then I cracked into another one and I found 3 diamonds and an emerald. Yeah, 3 diamonds and an emerald. So we're doing pretty well on diamonds right now, and we have an emerald. You know how emeralds can usually be kind of like a gateway to some of the high tier stuff. Usually having 1 emerald is enough to get you started on something useful. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do with it. Definitely not an emerald chestplate. Yeah, no chance of that. But we do have it, so that's good. Dimension builder. You know, that could be it. We may end up using it for a dimension builder. We'll have to see. So anyway, I was really excited about that, and then I was really disappointed just a second ago when I went to look for the recording files I made. Oh well. Everything here is still going pretty well. We're still getting these graphical glitches whenever we try to click on something. At least the induction smelter is actually saying that it's an induction smelter instead of something else. Could be worse. But the first thing we are going to do today is we're going to start building a tool. And not any tool. No. This is a super duper special tool. This is going to be a tool that uses sponge. And let's see if we have our book here, or somewhere, or anywhere. The special property of sponge is that, let's see here. Come on, sponge. Come on, sponge. Any second. Here we go. The special property is squeaky, so it gives you silk touch. If you use it in a weapon, then you do 0 damage. So it's literally the worst possible weapon material. And you can see it gives squeaky no matter which part of the tool that you use it in. Okay, alright. The durability. For the head, 1,050. That's a ton. The mining level is stone, so yeah. You could mine cobblestone all day with that thing, if for some reason you decided to. For the extra parts, a durability of 250. Okay, not bad. For an extra part, that's really not too bad, and it'll give you squeaky. But then on handle, durability 250 and a 1.2 handle modifier, and you still get squeaky. That's pretty good. The only question is, do you really want to have silk touch when you're using that tool? If you're just using it for the handle modifier, you get a nice bonus, but then you have to, you have to actually want to get the block. If you were using it to pick up dirt, for example, you'd end up with a bunch of grass blocks. So, and that might not be the end of the world. But what I want to do is I want to make a pickaxe. A pickaxe that has a sponge handle, and we're going to use it to get silk touch. A silk touch pickaxe specifically so we can pick up some redstone ore. And so I was looking through all the different ways to process redstone, and here we go. The Actually Additions crusher makes 10 redstone. 10. per ore. That is a ton. A ton of redstone. And I think we're probably going to need a ton. So that's not too bad. Looked a little bit more. Blood magic together with the basic cutting fluid, you can get 8. No real reason to do that if we're going to be getting 10 through a machine. And all it requires is power. Now the immersive engineering crusher, it gives us only 6 redstone, but then we get cinnabar. And it doesn't say that there's a % chance, so I'm wondering, it may even be 100% chance to give cinnabar. That would be really nice. Continuing on, we could smelt it for 1, you know, if we completely lost our minds. The sag mill is always interesting in what kind of secondaries it gives. So it'll give 8, and then a 20% chance of another one for 9, and then an 80% chance of silicon. So if I needed a lot of silicon, then I would still do something else with my redstone. Yeah, silicon's not that hard to get. And then there's the, I think it's the extra utilities too. Yeah, that crusher will give you 8. Okay. Redstone furnace, 3. Yeah, terrible. And then here's the pulverizer. The thermal expansion pulverizer. It'll give you 6 and a 25% chance of producing cinnabar. The tectonic initiator will give you 7 and a 25% chance of cinnabar, but then you have to use tectonic petroleum. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know that it's worth it to go that far. We may end up using the tectonic initiator anyway. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see. So here's the other option that's really good, and that is to run it through an induction smelter. It'll give us a block of redstone, so it's giving us 9. Pretty good. That's almost as good as the actual additions crusher. But then we also have a 50-50 to get rich slag. The pyro concentrator is twice as good as that. So, wow, I guess that means we're getting 18 redstone and a 50% chance for rich slag. And we'll just have to use some blazing pyrotheum to do it. Probably, if we decide we need massive amounts of redstone, that's what we'll have to do. And then you can just apparently craft it with petroleum dust. So I think probably we're not going to need to go this route, just because there are other ways to get tons of redstone, and eventually once we get to those other ways, you know, like renewable ways to get redstone, this won't be that important. And plus, I don't want to build high tier machinery just for whatever I might mine by hand. Okay, so the big question is, do we want to try to get cinnabar, or do we want to try to get rich slag from it? Rich slag can do, yeah, that phyto grow, the stuff that you can use to produce plants really quickly. Looks like it ore triples with a chance for slag. Pyro concentrator can ore quadruple. And I guess that's it. Now if we got the cinnabar instead, cinnabar, yeah, okay, so it works a lot like it did in the 1710 days. You can smelt it, cinnabar, together with an ore, and you get a very, very high chance of getting the secondary. So like if you do iron, you're definitely going to get nickel. Let's see. I think the draconium. Oh, I see. Yeah, there are cases where you might want to take some really rare material like draconium ore, and you definitely want to triple that. Because draconium ore is just, it's so hard to get. You just definitely want to triple that. See if there are any other secondaries that we would want to guarantee. Mana infused ore. I can't remember if mana ingots are actually used for anything yet. They weren't in the older days. Platinum gives you a 100% chance of iridium. Interesting. And then nickel gives you Yeah, nickel will give you a 100% chance of platinum. So in the old days, I always took my nickel ore and I just stockpiled it. I would just stockpile it until I got enough cinnabar to produce platinum. Because you need platinum to produce inderium, and you need inderium to make all the top tier thermal expansion stuff. 3 uranium. I don't know if we even have a use for uranium, because we don't have IC2 in this pack. So it looks like, especially for draconium, it's going to be really useful. Let's see if we have anything that mana infused ingots can be used for. Looks like the answer is no. It can be used to make a gear press. Yes. That's a terrible use of it. Okay. So it looks like the use is just what I expected. Cinnabar allows you to get a guaranteed secondary output for some of the most important metals, some of the really, really rare ones. And it looks like rich slag. Let's just double check on that. Looks like rich slag allows you to triple really easily. So I think, but given the choice between the two, I'm probably going to go with cinnabar, just because it looks like it is also going to guarantee a triple of the primary output. So for example, draconium triples, and then we have a really good chance of getting rich slag anyway. So it seems like cinnabar is the no-brainer. Okay, enough talk about that. Run. The other reason why I want to be able to silk touch redstone is because when I was digging around, I picked up there it is, red orchid. You plant it on redstone ore, it grows, you harvest it for redstone. So that's our renewable redstone. And it'd be nice to go ahead and get one of those started. Let's see, I picked up my bronze ingot. We're going to go ahead and make the head out of bronze. Right now, it's the most durable tool material that we have. Did I get some blood in here? A spider climbed into my smeltery. Awfully nice of him. If only I needed blood for something. Alright. Pickaxe head. Am I blind? I'm blind. That bug is still there too. Okay. Bronze pickaxe head. Go. Wait. Go. And now let's see if we can just use sponge directly. That's a tough tool rod. Let's make a regular tool rod. I'm guessing it has to be dry sponge. We don't have any powered way to smelt yet. Mostly because I have this huge bank of furnaces. Seems kind of silly to build a whole other thing when I've got really fast smelting over here. Dry sponge. Oh, the sponges. I forgot to explain where I got the sponges from. When I was branch mining, I intentionally, instead of digging to the west like we have been, I turned with the hammer and I headed out into the ocean. And I did that specifically so that we could get geodes, for one thing, and try to get some precious gems out of them, but also to look for some sponge. Okay, so we've got our sponge tool rod, and now we just need something for the extra tool slot. Paper is always an interesting option, just because you get writable, you get an extra modifiers. Well, that's really good. The durability is garbage though, so I may end up going with the Electrum again, specifically because, you know, it adds really good durability, and I guess it could be a decent holdout weapon. I don't know. I could also go with wood to make it ecological, have it repair itself. I'm kind of leaning towards that right now. stone increased durability gain. We're probably going to be able to repair the whole thing with 1 ingot anyway. The only other thing I would really consider would be durite off of obsidian. Make it last longer, don't have to worry so much about it regenerating. So between those two, right now I'm really leaning towards regeneration, because the longer we go in the game, the less we're going to need that sucker to be constantly mining, because we're going to have machines mining for us and all that. We're not going to be hand mining very much, which means it's going to have a long time to be able to regenerate itself. And having a tool that takes care of itself sounds like a really good in-game type of thing. So for now, maybe I'm completely stupid, but let's go ahead and use the wood part. And you can call me stupid later if need be. Oh. Wow, that's different. I have noticed that a lot of the material costs have changed since 1.7.10 days. Yeah, that graphical glitch. A lot of material costs have changed, like tool heads tend to cost 2 for a lot of things. Oh well, it's not that expensive anyway. Thank you. And I think we're going to name this one, even though I don't see any chance of us mistaking it for something else. 4.5 attack damage, except the squeaky is going to make it do 0 attack damage. Maybe that only means for the weapon part. Maybe the attack damage only applies to the weapon part. Like if you make a sword blade out of it, it does 0 damage. Huh. It does say attack 0 here. Interesting. Interesting. So that could make it a pretty good handle modifier for a really durable weapon. We'll have to think about that. And here we go. Let's name this one. We'll name it the what? Sponge pick. Square. Not enough spaces. That's going to be way too long. Let's just call it the soaker. Really creative. Super duper creative. And I think we'll go ahead, because it does have regeneration, I think we'll go ahead and use one of our modifiers to stick some durite on it, because a long-lasting tool regenerates much better. 2 blocks. Okay. So we should be able to make a plate. Now I better look that up just to be sure that it still works the way it did in the olden days. Ye olden days, when I was a young man. When I was just a lad running around in 1.6.4 and 1.7.10 Minecraft. Let's see. Fortified, beheading, reinforced. Reinforced is reinforcement. Oh. Adding a reinforced plate to the tool. Aha, aha. Okay. So it's not just a obsidian plate. Yeah, there it is. A reinforced plate is 8 obsidian around any cast. Any cast? Any cast at all? Probably includes a blank cast. I'm going to assume it does. Molten aluminum brass. Cast me a blank cast. Okay, so we need some water in here. And also 2 blocks of obsidian. Well, while we're at it, we might as well get that to the bottom. 2 blocks. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and then because I'm, just not a genius at all, We'll see if that's enough to get what we want out of it. Oil generator. Yeah, I don't think I can bucket those. One of the ironies of having an aqueous accumulator is that usually you don't have an infinite water source right next to it. Like you've got the blocks of water down there to infinitely gather water into it, but you can't just bucket it from there. Kind of annoying. So I can't remember if this produces 2 blocks worth of lava, of obsidian, or just 1. It looks like it's just the 1. Okay. Lava. 1, 2, and 1 more. And we're going to take this fellow with us. Rather than running up and down the shore over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Just fill this fellow up. Oh joy, nighttime. That should do it. Put you here and have you eject out this side. Push. So what do we got here? Looks like the obsidian's producing. And let's go sleep. I'll be back in just a second once we got all the obsidian produced. Okay, here we go. I went ahead and added an extra casting basin here to the side, just because I always end up waiting on those things. Here we go. Reinforced plate. And you are going to be reinforced. Nice. Very nice. Let's go give this sucker a try, shall we? Down to the branch shrines. Might as well take the hammer just in case. This mine, you can see on the mini map, we get to the bottom and we're halfway over to the new base. Halfway, or maybe a third of the way over. And once you run down to the end of it, you're practically under the new base. But here's the new branch mining cave I set up. Yeah, it goes on for a way. And it keeps going. Still going. Alright. Oh yeah. Silk touch. Oh yeah. And there are some cases where you want silk touch for something else too, aside from just picking this sucker up. Let's see. Okay. You know what? I don't care that much. Another thing I'd really like to do is go ahead and produce that night slime shovel that I've been looking at. However, we're going to need, I think it's purple slime for that. And we haven't found a slime island yet. The reason I'm bothering to fill this hole in is because I've got the lights perfectly measured so that there's absolutely no darkness in here at all. Not enough for a monster to spawn in. I like to have absolutely 0 monsters in my caves. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if we can find a slime island before we go worrying about producing night slime anything. And besides, it's just for a shovel. Not that big of a deal. Wait a minute. Oh, I used my... Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, I'm too stupid. I used my regular pick. Now this does make me wonder, am I going to be able to get these fellows from... Oh, I'm not. I'll have to be crushing these. I mean, I'll be crafting these, because my redstone ore is all going to be silk touched. Oh. Okay. Alrighty. So I think we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of building now, and we will be back in a second when we're ready to do that. Okay. We're here. We're ready to get started building. I ran all the way over here, and then I realized I forgot to fill my backpack with stone. So I ran all the way back, and I emptied out some of my backpacks and fiddled around and started to come back, and I realized I still forgot to fill it with stone. Oh. And so I fiddled around a little more, and I made sure I had everything, and then I came back. So yeah, we're finally ready to get started. And before we get started, doink, our little orchid, our little red orchid. I bet, you know what, I wonder if you can watering can this. It's from Extra Utilities too, so I bet you can. But we'll leave this fella here and we'll let him grow while we're working. Okay, so I've done a little bit more. I've increased the width of the frame all the way around the top, and that's because, two reasons. One, I want to use scaffolding for the roof. I think that's going to look really good, and it'll kind of match the color of the trim that we're using. But also, I'm going to be taking little notches out of this as we do a little bit more building. Is the sun? Oh, there it is. I don't know why, but sometimes around noontime, everything kind of gets that look like it's starting to get dark. I'm not quite sure what that is. Anyway. Never mind me, I'm just insane. Okay, so let's get a little bit more of this chiseled up, and that should be big tile. Remember, big tile, because big tile makes no sense at all. It's not actually going to make a tile, it's going to make one big smooth connected surface. Well now I have to think about this if I really want to do it this way. I think on this side, on either side, I am going to do this, but then maybe on the front I'm not going to. I think I'm going to leave this the way that it is, and I'll just have these on the sides. And that'll make a little bit more sense later on. Oh, come on. That'll make a little bit more sense later on as you see what I'm going to do on the sides. Specifically, I'm going to be taking that outside corner, you know, to the left of that, above this. I'm going to take pieces of that out to add some more decoration. And yeah, I think it'll look better this way. I was kind of experimenting on this side what to do. One of the problems is it's an even number of blocks, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can't have these kinds of tall slit windows in it, because you need an odd number of slits for that, an odd number of blocks. So I don't know, maybe one big 2-block wide window, or I could have a 1 slit here, fill up these 2, and 1 slit there. Not quite sure. We'll figure it out later. For now, we're going to fill it in, since that's what we're doing. There we go. Yeah, that magnetic characteristic on my basic pickaxe, oh, that's so good. It helps in situations like this. Oh good, they both popped this way. Alright. Ow. Whoa. For a second there I thought it was starting to melt. Yeah, we'll have to check on that, see if more of the ice blocks down there are melting. Yeah, I was watching some of the video from the previous episode that I recorded where I said, you know, it didn't make sense about the rules for when ice freezes and thaws. I said the wrong thing. I said, it doesn't make sense. Like, you mean if ice is in the sun, it's never going to thaw or something? I don't know. I said it backwards. Anyway, I think it's weird that ice that's in the shade will melt, but ice that's out in the sun will freeze. Like it'll stay frozen. That's kind of, yeah, that's kind of weird. And it's weird, if I break this, that will freeze over. This one, apparently it's never going to freeze over because it's not in the sun. Whatever. We may use that to our advantage later, though. We may come along and say, hey, let's break a few of these to make it look kind of neat. Make it look like it's thawing under here. I don't know. We'll see. That's way too far ahead. I'm not even thinking about that yet. Okay. Let's grab ourselves a different set of stone. Oh, I didn't know these fit in here. Oh, interesting. I guess because on a game level they're kind of like they're using a lot of the same data as Smoothstone does. Like, you know, maybe the NBT data is just a little bit different. Interesting. Anyway, get ourselves some wide bricks. Oh wait, I got one more. We're gonna need a lot of wide bricks. Chisel! No, Chisel! Poor Chisel. We barely knew him. He was such a hard worker. Never complained. Okay. This is one of those cases where I wasn't quite sure what to do. I think I'll probably just go ahead and run another pillar of the panel straight up from there. No. Not like that. Wow, I am really off today. So let's see, let's do this. Let's compare how it looks. And then take some panel. Wait, that's actually a panel. Oh, tile. Tile, tile, big tile. Panel, tile. So this side would look like this. And that would have that kind of a nice bordering look on it. And it would look consistent with that. Or we can go like this. And it'll kind of stick out. This will have a corner to it. I'm leaning towards this just because it kind of makes sense together with the rest of the building, the way we've put it together. I think it looks a little better that way. It's amazing how much better a building will look like if you just, even if all you do is use a different stone for the corners to kind of give it some trim. And yeah, even cobblestone. Just even cobblestone. Cobblestone, like I did with my smeltery, I think it can actually make a pretty good looking trim. Okay, so for a window, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the middle. Yep, that's the middle. Let's just say that's going to go up to here. Okay. So we can make a couple more slit windows, or we could make it one big window. And I'm kind of interested which one's going to look better. How about we do this? We'll do half here, and we'll do a slit on this side. Yeah, like that. So which one's going to look better? I was thinking we're going to do a big window in the middle. I don't think we are, though. I think we're going to do slits for all three. It matches the style of the rest of the building. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Sleepy. Any creepers wandering in? Doesn't look like it. Oh, look. Our little orchid is growing a little bit. Grown a lot, actually. I think it was about that tall before. Wow. Okay. Cool. And I think over here, probably we're going to split this into 2 slit windows. Again, just so it all stays consistent. Yeah. Maybe I'm OCD, but it really bugs me if it's not the same all over. So either I do that, which I kind of prefer. Oh yeah. I think that's probably how we're going to do it. Or I can go back in and lower this by 1 and add another piece of the big tile. Panel? Tile? Big panel? Big tile. I don't know. I think I prefer the taller looking windows up front. So we'll just leave that like it is. And so this corner is kind of how the walls are going to look. Probably the floor is going to change. That's where I think we're going to be able to add a little bit of different color. The walls are going to be kind of like they are, and then we'll add some patterning into the floor to make it more interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to mirror it in the other corners, and we'll be back when that's done. Okay, so we've gone ahead and mirrored those corners out. All four. Oh, hello there. Wow. Yeah, you get to right click to harvest and replant too. Oh, nice. So we just got a free piece of redstone. Anyway, distractions. So we've got all four corners finished up. I even did the insides here. And one thing I realized is this side, the east side of the building, is actually 1 block longer than this side. So you can see here I've got 1 block between the arrow slit kind of windows, and over here there are 2, because this side is 1 block longer. So what that means is here on the inside is different also. It has 3 windows, and over here it just has 2. So oops. I'm not going to rebuild the whole section of the base just to get that done. That'd be a waste of time. We're not going to do that. And I was looking at how to do the doors, and I want to have pressure plates, of course, because that's what you do. Pressure plates to get in and out. And so I went ahead and I made this frame here. And I guess big tile, panel, big tile, there we go. They look almost the same. I guess I'll go ahead and extend this to the top too. Oh, of course I missed. Of course I did. Yeah. But yeah, this is how the front's going to look. So we'll be able to come up, and if we need to, we can put pressure plates on the outside too. I don't think mobs are going to wander up here. I mean, it would be really weird for them to wander up here. And if we did have a creeper, wander right into the base for some strange reason, that would be hilarious. That would be completely hilarious. I know I'm going to end up freaking out, and my reaction will be really embarrassing, and it'll be enjoyable for you guys to watch. Enjoyable for you guys to watch. So probably that's what we're going to do. You know what? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make a commitment to you right now that we're going to make it possible for random creepers to wander in and completely ruin my day. There we go. Regular old stone pressure plates on the outside. And then for the doors, yeah, we have enough. How many doors do you get from one? 3 of them. So we're going to have to make another whole set just to get the doors we need. There we go. 2 to spare. Oh, they have a new sound. Oh, I like that. Yeah, they have a different sound than they had in 1.7.10. Okay, so now we have a basically, practically, almost, kind of, sort of mob-proof base. Except for spiders. And skeletons can still shoot us through the windows. The next stage is going to be putting a roof on here. And I've got everything for the roof done except for the treated wood scaffolding. And that's going to take lots of oil and lots of wood. We don't have lots of wood. I'll be back when we have lots of wood. Okay, So we have our wood, and I was trying to think of a quicker way to actually craft all of these planks that I'm going to need. And it looks like the cyclic assembler that thermal expansion used to have is gone. Thermal expansion doesn't have anything like that, which is a shame, because in the 1710 version, if you had a recipe that needed a liquid bucket in it, then you could actually just pipe liquid directly into the machine, and it would use that instead of a bucket. So I was thinking I could pipe the creosote in there and just have it craft the planks whenever I wanted. I guess that's not going to work. Guess not. So instead, I'm going to try making this fella, this doohickey, and cross our fingers, I guess. Let's see. So it was a crafting table, and it was a lever, and a chest. We've got all of those. Analog crafter. Okay. Tell me what you do. It looks like it's probably just saving recipes. So we'll see. We might be able to get a Ender IO fluid tank and have it do this part for us. So I'll be back when I get one of those. You know what? Actually, let's just... Oh, I don't have the glass to make another one. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go grab one from the base and then we'll try it out. Okay, so here we go. And I tried it a little bit. It looks like... Oh, it's auto-crafting. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Accessible from all sides. Down only. That would be the south side. Okay, south side. I tried it a little bit, and it sort of works. If I toss a bucket in here, it gets filled up, and that'll move it down to the filled bucket slot. And then it'll push the filled bucket out over here into the crafting grid, so that's good. The thing is, it doesn't seem to be able to pull the bucket back out again. So, yeah, it could be a little better. One more of these. Boy, that is not quick. It is not quick. Okay, yeah, let's make that sticky. And redistribute. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Those all look like good options. Uh-oh, crud. Well, we have chests. This might not work. Okay, it fills up, pushes the chest, the oil bucket. Oh, because that's accessible from all sides. Oh, okay, disable. So that should disable the piping. Let's try that again. Put it in here. Oh, it's already full. Okay. Stick it back in here. There we go. Toss it in here. It gets used. Jumps over here. Let's see if it'll continue trying to make chests. What? Oh, I guess when I disabled it. Yeah, I think when I disabled it, I actually disabled my ability to put something in it too. Weird. Now, how does this work? I wonder. Yeah, I don't think there's a good way to fully automate this at the moment. Not even with this table. Because if I take this out, it becomes a different recipe. I don't know. I guess I can take it out and throw it in. it'll automatically bucket it and stick it back in for me. But then it actually takes quite a while for the recipe to get finished too. Yeah. So that's not quite the answer I was looking for. Yeah, because by now I could have already had another bit of the recipe done. Oh well, that's not too bad. Push, disabled, none. Yeah. Oh well, back in a second. Okay, we've got all of our treated wood planks built, and we just have to make the scaffolding. So let's see, it's 3 sticks for every 3 wood planks. So I guess we can do these in groups of 3. And from what I remember, for every 1 stick... Is that a zombie? Am I hearing things again? From what I remember, for every 1 stick, we're going to end up getting 2 scaffold. So this should give us 21. 21. This should give us like 42, I guess. Wow, I was way off. Oh no, no I wasn't. Because we used like a stack, basically. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's right. So we used a stack of sticks, and we got 2 stacks of scaffold. So I was right, but once again I failed to do math properly. Yeah. So probably this is a lot easier to do from upstairs. Oh, actually, you know what? Up until now there hasn't been a reason, but it's time to build builder's wands. Let's see, builders, that's not it. Maybe it's building. Wand? That's going to get us there. Iron wand. Oh, okay. 2 sticks. We should be able to afford 2 sticks. 1 piece of iron. 2 sticks. 1 piece of iron. Iron wand. Yeah, excellent. Magnifico. So until now, we've only been building in straight lines, right? Like even with these arrow slits, I would build across the top, and then down and across and up, and then down and up. And so I wasn't laying bricks side by side like this. And so until now, until this very moment, there was not a really good opportunity for me to use a builder's wand. And now there is. Hooray. It makes me really happy. I think there are some hotkeys for using the builder's wands, like to change what area it affects. Yeah, not really sure. But thankfully the wand mode that it's in right now is exactly what we need. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. Did I use up all of them already? Wow, yeah I did. Let's see, is it right? Yeah. Wrong tool. Wow, I used up all of my scaffold already. So let's see, let's do another stack. And that'll give us 2 stacks of scaffolding to use. Just like that. Just like that. Actually, I probably don't even need it on my hotbar, do I? Unfortunately, now my builder's wand is about half busted. So iron's not going to be a problem. We've got enough iron to work with, but it's going to be annoying if they keep breaking in the middle of me building. Oh yeah. I hadn't thought about that until just this second, but I'm going to need a better way to keep this place free of monsters. Keeping the mobs out. I can torch the floor, I guess, but up until now it's been open to the sky. I didn't have to worry about it. So we're going to have to figure out how to light this sucker up in a not too ugly way. I know pretty much what we're going to do eventually to light it up. I have a interesting idea in mind, and a little thing that you may or may not know about one of the mods we're using. But that's not yet. We're going to have to get moved in here and get our power system going and all that. Okay, so here we go. This is almost how it's going to look in its finished form. And what do you think? I kind of like the way that this roof works. And to be honest, I really like the way the side of scaffolds work. Like how they look and how they match with everything else we've got going on. So for example, I had some of these over in the corner earlier to use as a ladder. Well, I kind of like how it looks. I've been thinking about taking these fellows out of the corners. So maybe something like that. I think it looks pretty good. Not sure how it'll work over here. It's a little different. Yeah, it kind of throws these windows off balance when we do that. So maybe just in the one corner. Yeah, it makes these windows in the front be uncentered when we do that. But anyway, we're going to do a little bit with the floor. Probably not yet. We've been doing enough building. We're probably going to go ahead and actually move the stuff out of our clearing here into the base and do something besides working on the building for a while. Maybe advancing our tech a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like that. Did I do that in this corner? I sure did. One more. And we'll have to decide what kind of glass to put in the windows too, and decide whether they're going to be, whatchamacallums, panes or full blocks of glass. I like the idea of panes because they give that extra feeling of depth to the window. But sometimes they just don't look that good. You know, sometimes there's just not a good glass pane to go with what we're looking for. Vanilla glass panes, the problem with them is those streaks, they're really obvious when you look at them. They're just not that pretty looking. I wish they were. They're not. They're not pretty looking. And we do have all kinds of other, what's that? Chiseled stone. Oh, panel, because I'm searching for pane. Let's see. There we go. Maybe that gets rid of it. Nope, sure doesn't. So probably we're not going with a glass pane. Clear glass? Tinker's Construct. Can you still produce panes? Okay, colorizer. Anyway, glass has a much better option. For example, you look at this and we go to chisel. We have all these different kinds of glass to choose from. Most of them are a lot more clear and they have a good bordering to them. I like steel framed and shale. Those two have a really good looking border. So we'll just have to see. If I ever do big windows, I like to use, you know, the iron fence or the asymmetrical leaded glass kind of as a border around the glass, and then that makes it look like it has a big kind of glassy frame around it. That's really good looking. We'll have to see. We may end up adding a big roof here, like a big window in the middle so that we can see the sky, but not for now. And we're gonna have to leave some of that to next time because we are at the wrapping up point. And I hope you like how the base is turning out. I think the very best looking features, the plans that I have with the towers up here, I think those are going to be the best part. And I think you're going to like those a lot. Maybe we'll get those to in the next episode too. Guess we'll just have to see. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.